Hello, this is Gary Franke at Achieve Alpha Insurance giving you an overview of the 2020 open enrollment for individual health insurance from November 1st to December 15th. If you have any questions, you can call or text message our business line now, as you can see below, or send us an email. These are just a quick overview, so make sure to check the carrier's websites. For any information, you can go to achieve-alpha.com, click on the health insurance tab. You can watch this video, fill out a contact us, and any of the links for any of our health insurance related products or accident plans or short-term medical, travel insurance are located on this page. You can click on those anytime through the year. As a broker, our commission is built into the price, so there's no additional charge to you. So we're here to help you throughout the year if you have questions and comments or issues filing claims. But we'll give you the tips and tricks so that each carrier, even more specifically in person compared to just this video. But click on Find a Broker, put in my last name, Franke, F-R-A-N-K-E, and Tamara Chandler and myself can help out throughout the year. Just request help, proceed, and we can help out. This past year, we've expanded with Base and Pacific Insurance and Achieve Alpha Insurance, so we're both agencies. But this has allowed us to have 14 auto and homeowners insurance carriers to help you get the best price for auto, homeowners, and other coverages. So ask for Julia specifically during open enrollment, but Tamara and myself can help out throughout the rest of the year. Technically, carriers lowered prices, but we all got a year older, so prices went up a little as well. So as you can see, for like a 50-year-old on a silver plan, they've kind of started coalescing around the same price for the most part, but it's really the network differences that you're going to have to dig into. Here's a breakdown of the carriers. If you go direct to a carrier, you will not get tax credits. If you go through the health exchange, which most of them do anyway, it's a more effective plan for the price. We'll dig into each of the carriers. Pacific Source and Providence are new to Washington State, and they really haven't provided us much information about their networks. They're all about the same price, so I'd probably stick with a more established carrier for the most part. For 2020, here's the full cost level for the size of your tax household. So this is your modified adjusted gross income from all taxable income sources. So you need to estimate what you're going to make for 2020, and if it adjusts to the year, you're supposed to go in and update that as it changes. So for a family of 3, if you make below $85,000, you would get some sort of tax credits. The accident plans with LifeSecure are really effective for the price. Technically, in this example of a $7,100 benefit bank, for a 45-year-old guy, it's a 21-year break-even point. So if you use the coverage within that time period, it'll pay off. And the benefit bank restarts every year. So if you're more active, have a dangerous job, or more active, just many different things of your life, or playing sports, I would strongly recommend you get this plan. My employee Tamara has some kids in sports. It's active. They've used it. It's not too hard to use. Very effective for the price, especially if you're going to cover the deductible on it as well. For the searching for a plan, once you get to this point on the Health Plan Finder, the Smart Plan Finder, Find a Doctor tool, and prescriptions is not always the most accurate. So I would trust that with a grain of salt. Make sure to go to each individual carrier's website. To search for plans, you have to click the filter by, and then you can search, for example, looking at the LifeWise or Ambetter Coordinated Care. This is just an example of how to search for different plans. Here's our plan structure. Anything below in the green and gray is covered before the deductible. But if you have a large expense, the first one here, for example, you can see the deductible. You'd have to pay the first $11.50 of an expense. After that, you pay 20%. They pay 80% until you get the max out-of-pocket in that insurance network. For Kaiser Permanente, one of the advantages is they have coverage in Washington, Oregon, California, and Colorado for the most part in network facilities. So if you travel along those states quite a bit, that can be a smart option. They've expanded aggressively. They've opened up new facilities and hiring more doctors. However, they do not cover on-the-job injuries if you do not have labor in industries, if you're self-employed from that perspective. Another advantage is they have lower deductibles for the cost. So they're very cost-effective plans in the same network. They're very user-friendly for coordination of care, since they're the provider and insurance company for coordination of care. Premera got rid of their individual specific doctor network. So they're a lot broader. You don't have to choose the different hospital network system. They're the largest network of doctors, specifically if you're seeing a therapist or counselor. Prescriptions oftentimes are covered a little bit better depending on what it is. So from that side of things, Premera is a very effective plan, but it is the most expensive. So if another carrier works, that can work well. In addition, Premera is not in Snohomish or Pierce County, so I would probably recommend getting LifeWise since it's a subsidiary of Premera. However, they cover the Swedish, Providence, and mainly CHI Franciscan network of doctors, but they have a very similar wide network of independent doctors, and they're back in King County for this next year. They also have a much lower deductible at $2,500. A downside, though, is they do not cover brand name drugs before the deductible. It keeps the price lower, so if you just need to see primary and specialists, this plan works awesome. Ambetter has expanded their doctor network a little bit better than in the past. They are a little bit more narrow network for the most part, but they cover Swedish, Providence, and Evergreen in the CHI Franciscan system. They have good plans for the plan designs. The Gold plan is very effective if you're going to use a lot of prescriptions or go to the doctor a lot. It has a very low deductible. But also the Bronze plan is not in Snohomish County, so you can't get that HSA plan up there. Molina Marketplace also has a somewhat more limited network similar to Ambetter. They cover Swedish, Providence, Overlake. The Ever Clinic is new from what we're told that's coming in the network, along with CHI Franciscan. They are the lowest cost plan on the market, but they also have higher deductibles of $6,000 compared to like LifeWise as $2,500. So just make sure to compare the networks for the doctors that are covered in that network. But as a whole, they're a good carrier as well. Regions has come back to King County. They mainly have the UW network, and they're only direct to the carrier, so you can't get tax credits. But they do have networks outside of Washington State, so this can be an effective plan for those that want to stay in that network and their doctors are covered in prescriptions. It works very effective. Bridgespan is a subsidiary of Regents, and they have a similar network to the Regents plan, but you get tax credits through the health exchange. But they do have a more limited network for the most part. Health savings accounts, the main difference is if you're going to have a big surgery or expense, these plans are really effective. They have a lower max out of pocket, but you don't get upfront doctor visits before the deductible. But if you're going to hit the max out of pocket, might as well. And you get a second part is a tax deduction if you fund a health savings account. I use KeyBank just because they're effective and they're one of the only banks left that use it. But talk with your CPA. We can answer any tax questions for the actual amount that you can fund those plans. For a lot of healthy people, they're asking for additional options. We sell the Ultra cost share plans. They don't cover pre-existing conditions, and they do have a good network of doctors throughout the nation. So you can purchase these literally any month because they don't cover prior health issues. But they do have some limitations, and it's good to look at those. They start from $105 a month and go up from there. They've improved the benefits for 2020. So the one advantage of these plans is they cover new medical issues. So if you don't have very many issues or don't do that many recreational vehicles, they've improved it a lot. There's like a 90-day waiting period for cancer now, which is improved from 12 months on all the plans before. So the Emerald, the second best plan, is probably the most effective for most people, specifically in your 50s and 60s. And you're healthy, it can be a more cost effective, but you will not get any tax credits for purchasing this plan as well. Dental insurance for children, it's a really good plan through the health exchange. If you're below 18, they make you purchase one of these plans. They work very well for adults. They don't cover major dental, so I don't recommend getting those. The one that we've been using the most is Emeritus. They have a really good network of doctors. The first two plans are more their HMO network of their dental providers. It's still a pretty broad network. But if you want to see any dentist, the third and fourth plans cover any dentist. So for the price, you can get $1,000 or $2,000 worth of total dental work done. For the price, it works very effectively. So there's also the Delta Dental. They're a little bit more broad, but they have a 12-month waiting period for major dental, whereas Emeritus is 6 months. So that's kind of the overview of those. So in conclusion, just make sure that we're your broker of record on the Health Plan Finder. And if you have any questions, you can give us a call at 425-802-2783.